Bite me. A minute. I'm sorry. It took a minute. I think we should be good. Let's triple check. I am fucking tiny. And all of my settings are reset. Oh no. I have no play space. And I can't unmute apparently. But hello. Hold on. This is really fucked up. Holy shit. I can't unmute myself or anything either. Well, anyway, welcome to here. This might take me a minute. Apparently my user height is 5'6". That's fucked. There we go. A little better. Yes. Fair enough. Fair enough. But, yeah, so apparently I can't unmute myself in game. God bless. We'll figure that out. And, I have no play space and all of my controls are fucked. So, hey, that's great. But welcome to here. Hi, Lang. Hi, Sky.
Hey, Blaze.
Hello. I am
Are
trying
you
to
able to
fix
hear
it.
us?
I can hear you,
Okay.
but
There's
we should be
probably a
good.
settings in your microphone thing.
Yeah, I gotta recalibrate too because my legs are worked. But yeah, hello. I can't. What?
Done with invites are being allowed in, so I don't know if I can accept yours data.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on bringing very many, if any, people on. Why is one of the? No,
We'll
you're
stick in
fine.
the chat anyway if you want to say hi after the podcast.
But yeah, give me a second and I'll be ready. VR is being weird. A little better. I still can't unmute for some reason. Is push to talk really that hard? Like, does it really go
Blaze,
that
I had
hard?
that problem once or twice. If you open up like your quick menu, that little mic icon on the bottom left is like a manual override.
Is it?
Yeah.
Quick menu. I don't see. Oh.
Your hand menu, yeah, there's a little mic you can click.
Yeah, like in your small menu.
Yeah, I'm in there. I don't see it, but I'm there.
It's beneath where your avatar's on your on the left hand side. Next to the rocket.
Yeah, it's sort of
It's okay.
like if you see the go home
Oh,
button,
there you go.
it's like diagonal down from
You
that.
got it then. I had that.
Yeah, it's forcing push to talk, but I for some reason can't disable it. I don't know why.
Huh.
Give me one more moment. There we go. I can't fix it. It's giving me some kind of error code. We might just be without digital device audio valve index. Yeah, it's not gonna work. That's fine. Not gonna lie, it's a little weird having people watching me in real life, but that's fine. So welcome to here. We'll give it a minute before we get started. All of my settings are pretty fucked. But welcome to here. A Poicast in VR. Who would have thunk?
Got my Halloween math on.
We just had to fucking break that piece. What? What's up? But anyway.
Do you have a Halloween model?
This is starting to really piss me off. I'm not gonna lie. One of my cables is being a bitch. But anyway, I'm not gonna bother with it. I'm not worrying about it. Well, welcome to here. It's taking me a minute, I know. Why are you fucking with stuff? Maybe it's fine. You don't... Love you. Anyway. Sorry about that. I'm not used to having people around me in real life while I'm in VR. But we got a couple of things to talk about. We got a few things we can go over. As for staff joining in, I wasn't planning on having more than like 1 or 2 people in here, but we'll see. As for the topics and whatnot, we'll get onto that in a second. I think we've got a lot of us in here already. Let's see. Yeah. First stream, welcome to here. That looks good. So when I reset up my VR, it didn't save any of my settings or anything. So I don't have play space or whatnot right now. So I'm kind of stuck at this height. I tried activating my bindings, importing them, but no.
You can use your
I'm
built-in
okay,
avatar
baby.
rescale.
I'm fine, thank you. Huh?
You can use your built-in avatar rescale. So if you go to your
That's
gesture wheel
true.
and quick action, gesture wheel, quick action, and you can adjust it there.
Yeah, but this
And-
avatar looks
and, you know-
weird as fuck tall. Oh, you got
And, you know,
stairs.
we had stairs before. the
I'm
campus
dead.
became,
I'm dead. You put little stairs
that
up
works.
for me. That works. Thanks.
A little stepping stool.
Little steps. Well, that
It's a
works.
very important feature.
Yeah. I tried scaling my avatar up. It said no. But I would like it to actually fucking unmute me. That would be kind of cool if it would.
Most functional
I
VR
can't
chat
tell-
build.
Yeah, I know, right?
I
Most-
can't really help you on that front. I don't know why that's doing that.
There we go.
I'm sure they updated something that broke everything else.
Yeah, probably. But
Every time.
I know, right? I'm trying to get my shit working and I'm over here confused as a motherfucker looking through all the menus. But I think it's fine. I'm not gonna spend more time than I need to on it. But it shows up as it's working. That might work instead. Only difference is now it's never not
There you
gonna
go,
be
that
on.
worked.
Here.
That worked.
Yeah.
Okay, you and guys.
I'll do one more thing. Ooga booga. So we should be good there. I think my
I
mouth
can't wait for
works.
the new SDK
Probably.
for the new version.
I know, right? Can't wait to die.
I'm sure that won't break literally everything.
It's
ever.
kind of weird.
Sounds
Every
terrible.
time any update comes out, whether it's VR chat or avatar related or something else, we tend to get fucked over, which is always pleasant. Always nice. Thank you, VR chat, for continuing to somehow fuck us over with every update. Very appreciated.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it won't break any avatar stuff because it's a version that's almost the same as 19. And I'm like smashing my X button with the force of 1,000 suns to doubt.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd really like to join me.
I
They're
guess
doing it
Data
just to
can
spite
join.
Blade,
That's
so
fine.
why.
Maybe. But as for topics, we'll talk about Foundation a little bit. We'll talk about APD. We'll talk about some other stuff related and unrelated. Yeah, we'll talk about a few things. This is very weird. My settings are not how I like them to be at all. So everything looks a little off. The refresh rate on the headset's off too. I've got a dog in front of me. Oh. That's fine.
Hot dog.
Goob. Probably Goob, which one?
Yeah, Goob's in front of me. That's fine. That works. That works. I'm gonna have to go through all of it later. Mess with it more. But TLDR, all of my settings got reset for OVR and all my other bullshit. So instead of purple, I've got a green watch now, which I guess works.
Hmm.
It looks kind of ugly
My
though.
God.
But let's see.
There's nothing wrong with the color green.
No, I just prefer my purple. And it's a very light green too. Very gross. No, more like a neon. Anyway, it looks like everything's working overall. So thank you, Haley, for fixing my VR. I appreciate it. I'm good obfuscating that part. That part can stay with the NASA engineers and their lost papers. But yeah. We'll talk about a few things unrelated to the Hapus too, but that'll be near the end. Looking at it, I think I have everything set up. Looks like everything's more or less right. But let's see. I'll let Sky go first. Since Sky's here for one and one thing only, I'll let them go first. Not kicking you out, by the way. But yeah. Go first. You can stay after the fact. You're fine. I'm just looking at what we have to talk about, and you'll be the easiest. You can start us off.
A couple of you probably noticed you got a ping this morning. It would have been around about 11, 12 p.m. EU British Standard Time, but it's basically announcing the regular thing that we do yearly. The past year last year we did it, and this year we're doing it again. It's the Halloween avatar creation event. So, brief TLDR of what this event is going to entail is anyone is welcome to create their own Halloween themed avatar. There's a couple of specific rules relating to what you can, you can't do, but this year our new rule is no poly limit. We're not restricting the amount of polys that we get that you have to hit or below. It's pretty just common sense is don't go overboard. Not a lot of hoppers have good PCs to be able to run avatars with over 300,000 polys and so on, but it's going to last until towards the last week of October. The specifics are in the announcements channel at the current moment in time. So it'll be running from today, October the 1st, till the 26th. Once the 26th hits, we'll be asking for pictures or a video showcasing your creation from different angles. And then from the 27th till the 30th, the votes will be in the own dedicated channel for you players to vote on your favourite. And then finally, the winner of those votes, whoever it's the most votes, will have their avatar used exclusively on Halloween, on our Halloween themed raids. That's pretty
people complaining that they
TLDR
can't
of
hear
what
Sky.
the event is happening. What was that, sorry?
There's people complaining that they can't hear you properly.
There should be too.
Weird. It's showing up.
I've got the right microphone on.
Audio's showing good on Twitch. It's showing good on Streamlabs
Hold
too.
on.
Yeah, I checked the Discord.
Let me just test
and
on the
it
stream.
sounds fine to me. Yeah, well, Dream, you need to tune into the actual stream. They're definitely muted in the voice channel because they're not supposed to talk in there.
Yeah, they're muted in the VCs. They're not muted in either of the streams.
It's rule, but it's perms based in it. That's why.
Some people have access to unmute
Surprised.
themselves. Some people don't. I need to go and redo some more perms. I should probably update that.
But if you wanna,
Yeah, I'm suppressed, so I can't talk even if I wanted to.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
TLDR, if
no
you want to
issue,
hear
yeah.
everybody else, just tune into one of the streams. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool.
I
So
think
another
most
avatar
people
event.
caught that.
I think most people got it, but
We did it last year and it was really successful. I think I've got last year's winner. Avatar still favorited.
It was quiet, so he turned up the volume.
it was quiet, so we turned up. I'm dead. I'm dead, Dream.
I've still got last year. This is last year's
Good
winning Avatar.
job, Dream.
Oh yeah.
My mind
Yeah,
is
made
exploding.
by Bread Expert.
This one, created by Bread.
Maybe you cranked it up to 11.
But yeah, doing a event, getting some more avatars created specifically for Halloween is pretty cool. So that'll be nice to see. But But I don't know what we'll end up seeing creator-wise, who's gonna make what, but I always love whenever we do our creation events. We always get some pretty interesting ideas. So hopefully some people are interested and they make some models for it, because I can think of some pretty good and janky times that we'll have on Halloween. So yeah, if anyone's interested in that, feel free to look at the announcements channel and read up all about it. Yeah.
I mean, last year we all were in this avatar in a raid in Spirits of the Sea, and we circled someone that just lie down, ready to be sacrificed.
That's fair. That is fair.
So that was fun. I'll let you take your place back.
You're good. I know, I'm looking through all my settings right now and I'm like, fuck, it's all fucked up. Hell, this might be better. Honestly, tracking might be better over here. I'm in my kitchen. Let's see. That looks better already. I only have 3 base stations set up right now. One over there, one there, and then one way the fuck over there. I don't know where my 4th one went. I have no idea, but I'll find it. But yeah, for anybody who's interested in the Halloween event, the Halloween creation event, go look at the announcements channel. That'll be fun to do another creation event. That'll be cool. Yes, there is a stream data. But yeah, so before we go on to Hapu stuff and all the other stuff, it looks like my computer's working fine. I've been testing it, different stress tests, and it's running higher or on average. So I'm gonna say it's probably fine. As for what was fucking with it, I have no idea. But I took it apart like 3 or 4 times. Completely apart 3 or 4 times. Changed all the components around a million times, and it just works. So I'm not gonna bitch about it. All of my RAM apparently shows up now. My graphics card isn't crashing. So good overall. And then she fixed my headset so I can do VR again. So I can lead raids in VR, and we'll talk about something else near the end. But as for Foundation, let's see. Excuse me.
Hey Blaze, who's that at the doorway?
Which doorway? It's Soul. Hello, Lust. Let's see. So this section's still public. Everyone should be able to see the stats section still. Friendly reminder, it's not exactly the most accurate thing in the world. I would say it's like 90% accurate. So take the stats section with a grain of salt.
And it's still not fixed. I can still join.
I know I didn't fix the join permissions on the channels. So technically speaking, yeah, you can join those channels, just don't. I'll update them when I get on my computer after the Poicast. But right now, there's a little over 5,000 of us, but we only count foundlings, so potato,
50 away.
Alright, so then we're
Give or
50
take.
foundlings away from 5,000. Currently in the server, there's almost 5,100, but we only count foundlings, since foundling is the base role for access to the server. If you don't have it, then you're not technically in the server, so you get the point. But yeah, for the announcement ping, there's 832. For the PC raid ping, there's 1,021. For the quest raid ping, there's 471. And for the event ping, there's 877. A lot of people. That's pretty crazy. It's a lot. The total voice minutes is... that's a lot. We're just gonna fuck off with that stat because I don't think it's accurate anyway. Today's total messages are almost at 4,000. Hey Luna, you know you're gonna get stepped on, dog. You gotta be careful.
What's up, dog?
Oh, Goob fell asleep in your lap. Thanks. But yeah, so today's total messages are almost at about 4,000. The new souls this month are almost at 200. So that's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna look into the deeper stats for the Discord, but you get the idea. And if you want to know any like better statistics, more accurate statistics, I'm pretty sure everything's still public on StatBot. So you can either go into the bot section and look at user stats, or you can go on the website. Hi Goob. Hey puppy. But yeah. That those raids easily match PC raid sizes. Yeah, that makes sense, all things considered. The normal PC raid ping has been around for like 3 times the amount of time. Fair enough. Do I have any pins? I do have a pin. Magical. Huh, that worked out oddly well. It just put me right back up here. But yeah, overall it looks like stats are, I know, right? Stats look good overall. It's pretty crazy. We won't go into the detail of the stats, but you can see them all in the server or on StatBot. Hi Goob, what do you want? You want my attention? There you go, buddy. You want to join me on the Poicast? There we go. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Listen, I have to hold the puppy for a minute, so if my arm looks weird, blame the dog.
I would just need a puppy plush in this world.
Hey, Goober. Hi.
A go plushie.
Thanks. But yeah, overall stats look cool. There's a lot of us. Awesome. I don't know what else to say. I'm a little sidetracked. For foundation stuff, there's a lot to talk about, but Lang's here, so you want to talk about APD while I deal with the puppies? You don't have to if you don't want to.
Sure.
But yeah, feel free to talk about the APD
By
for a
all
minute.
means, why not? I don't need this. I'm actually tall. All right. So, yeah. So, basically, there's been a lot of stuff going on in APD lately. I'm not sure if approximately how many of you viewing this are in it or are really interested. But guess what? This podcast is for both of our communities, so get used to it. Upcoming, upcoming, we have our court case. We've had a little bit of a contention surrounding its date, but it looks like it's going to actually take place on Saturday of this next week. Primarily on account of the fact that that's when all the parties involved can actually be present within the next 2 or 3 months or so. So yes, Cypher, very poignant time to chime in. Yes, they will be streaming it onto their Twitch channel. It'll likely be advertised in this community as well as over in the APD. So whenever it's taking place, you will know, and you'll be able to watch it there. The reason why we're limiting the amount of people in the actual court world itself is on account of the fact that really only the people that are necessary for the court case are meant to be in there in the first place. And secondly, we have some important parts of it that are going to be using Quest at the time. So as fun as it is to have 70 people in a world and get about 3 frames every 5 minutes, we're not going to do that for this time around.
Fair. It is fair.
Another thing going on in the APD right now, somewhat major development. If you happen to be glancing in the Poicast chat, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because we've gained a new Vice Admiral. They're right there. It's Zoe. It's honestly been a long time coming.
Yeah.
We're very, very pleased to have them with us. I'm certainly quite glad to have some more assistance, and I feel like we can get a lot more things done during this next upcoming. Well, I suppose not everyone manages their time via like the development cycles like I do, but during this next cycle, we'll be able to get a whole lot of stuff done. We're entering into what could be referred to as something of a new phase of the APD coming up, of which I'm very pleased. I feel like all of our longtime members will be happy about it, as well as the people who are going to be getting into it with us. It's going to be a lot more open. That there's a whole lot of stuff coming down the way, you might say. Right now, I'm working personally. I've been on it for the last few weeks or so. Yes, there will be peanut butter, Gaster. Right now, last few weeks or so, I'm working on an update to both our handbook as well as our training procedures, as well as the actual guide document for the trainers themselves. All of which are very taxing to write. I was actually talking to Zoe about this the other night. It's like, I actually find this somewhat difficult to get through, just on account of the fact that, particularly for the handbook, I'm like pouring my heart out on this thing, and in certain parts of it, I'm like imploring the reader to recognize certain things, just take certain things into consideration. Really calling upon them to try and at least get them to view it at least kind of the way that I do whenever it comes to this stuff. So it ends up reading a lot more like you're being spoken to than it does like an official document. Although that's more so the section that covers conduct. All of the actual components of the poitrels themselves, those are written in a really like standard documentized format. I'm really pleased with the new training. I know that I know our training prior really and somewhat admittedly, whenever I wrote it the first time, it was just so that we had it. It was so that we had something to show for to actually get that advancement happening. And it didn't necessarily take the optimal form that I would have liked. Where you had to attend, 2 different sessions on 2 different days, each of which were pretty long. It was, it was really engaging on the day, but we've had people who've been somewhat hard stuck for a while now, where they've been to one of them but not the other. They can only show up during this time but not the other. They, only had one day, and we tried our best to accommodate that, but with the way that we're doing the rewrite, we're making it such that one, it incorporates the precinct a whole lot more, as it is the main toolbox for doing stuff with like the poitrels in the first place. I found that was definitely a deficiency that we had prior, was that a lot of the things that were being covered weren't necessarily integral to the poitrels themselves, which in my opinion was a major deficit. So it's taking place in the actual precinct itself. We're going over the different areas, their functions, their possible uses. We're keeping in like the practical demonstrations, but we're tuning them so that they're actually for things you might encounter whenever you're poitroling. We're covering a lot of stuff related to our new special services divisions, which are developing very nicely. I know that the engineers and the mages haven't been making quite as much noise as the other two, given that there's very energetic people heading up the medics and the detectives. But the people in charge of the mages and engineers are myself and Daedric, and we're kind of the types where we work off in the shadows quietly, and then we show up with something pretty great. So it's kind of like a sleeping giants type deal. But that all that stuff is going to be incorporated into our new training. We're working on getting a lot of the areas set up for them, so we can incorporate them more into what it is we're doing with our poitrels. So also, for those of you who have no idea what the hell I'm talking about right now, basically whenever you reach a certain level in the APD, which in this case is the role of rookie, which implies that you've been around with us for a while, you gain access to join what is referred to as our special services. There's technically 5 of them, but the enforcers are going to be like a higher culmination of all the other 4 that you achieve at a later time. They're also heavily work in progress at this time, as we're developing the other 4 to act as the basis for them to exist in the first place. So we have the medics, pretty self-explanatory. They cover all things, biological. They deal with like the diseases. They have their little hospital set up, pretty standard. Then we have like the engineers. They're in charge of all the technology. They're in charge of developing new technology, like research, and they make sure that stuff we have already is fixed and in good working order. Then we have like the detectives who obviously do the investigations. They're in charge of a lot of documentation. They do a lot of they do a lot of photo snapping. They collect evidence, so on and so forth. The mages, I've found that they're somewhat of like a fill in the gaps whenever it comes to all the like holes you could find in relation to the other ones. So like if it's not covered by the other things, chances are it's probably magical. I'm taking this one under my wing directly. One, because God, you have to regulate something like that a lot so it doesn't take over all the other things, and just two, because I've been a huge nerd playing mages in D&D and shit for like probably 14 years now. So I kind of know what I'm doing, and I'm working on making it so that there's like a magic system for it that's not crazy OP and can actually be like represented by avatars appropriately. So yeah, whole lot of stuff coming down the pike. We're getting it all wrapped up into our new training procedures, and we're really rolling out some new stuff in relation to our schedule. We've got some new staff on board, and we're going to be working on getting a lot more people elevated to the point where they can start taking on things like this. I have Zoe with me now. I think that chief among their tasks is probably going to be helping me develop our Poitrollers, develop our staff team, really get those ideas, those values, and those things that we're working on out there, and really just start getting people mentored, start getting people under the appropriate wings, showing them how it's done, and just overall trying to work on the culture that we're trying to develop. So yeah, that's basically like what's going on in the APD. I mean, I could certainly stand up here and ramble for a whole lot longer about all the all the fine intricacies of those things, but that's kind of the version that I'll leave you guys with, so you don't get too bored.
You're good, Lang. You can keep going. I love you, but don't just leave it. I love you,
Yeah, I mean
but just leave it.
that's pretty much all I've got to really show for you guys anyway. So, if you
No,
if you want to get back up there, perhaps if Agent had anything to say.
Not really.
Nah, you
Oh,
were
okay.
good. You could keep going. Sorry, a couple things in real life took my attention, but I heard most of what you said.
Oh well, by all means, if you want me to continue rambling,
You can if you want.
I
It's
can
up to you.
certainly go on. The one thing that's a downside about my style of developing stuff for the APD is that I work a lot entirely by myself. So I get really excited about concepts I'm working on and then have effectively no one to speak to about it outside of like my direct staff, or perhaps if you're up in like the leadership. Partially because I want to keep it a secret so that it gets out in its finished form for people, because I don't like delivering underwhelming work in progress stuff, and also because I find that I work better whenever I can just kind of like sit there and stand here in my new office, which
Won't
by
work.
the way I'm very pleased about, with all my whiteboards up on the walls, and just kind of bounce between them like a madman, scribbling, and then step back 5 feet and be like, oh, it goes together like that, like I'm some kind of insane person. But that's just how creativity works
Insane.
around here.
I was insane
So
once. They locked me in a room with rats.
I was explaining this the other day in like the creation VC, which by the way is pretty much the only VC that actually gets used in APD, because all we do is make stuff all day. But how like I can't like start over here and then just like move this way to this point. I need to like get out my 9 whiteboards and put like this part of it up here, this part of it down here, this part over there, and this part, and then like step back and be like, and then figure out how they go together. Like I can't just go from like point A to
All I
point
can
B. I
just
have to jump
imagine.
around like all over the
Yeah,
freaking place.
I feel
So
that.
it was funny because they were like, "Oh, have you ever considered coding?" And I was like, "God, no! I could not do programming to save my life. God, that would
can
be
just
like the
imagine you
worst
just
job for me in the world, because you
Fuck
really do
that.
have to sit down
walking
and
off the
just like
screen.
linearly put all that stuff in. Oh God, it's
All I
terrifying.
can
Walk off
think
But
of.
screen and can just wheeling a whiteboard on wheels. into
No,
the
I'm
frame.
serious. I have notes
whiteboard
on my
on
PC,
wheels.
on my phone, on my whiteboards, on
Same.
like written notepads. Like it's all
Same.
over the place. Like yeah, like my mind is just like scattered across like 20 different spots, and eventually I get them all culminated together into one thing and then publish that shit. But that's also part of the reason
Doing
why
better
I
than
don't
me.
share a lot of my work
Fuck.
in progresses is because sometimes like yeah,
In the
sometimes if I
magnificence of
tried
your
to share
mind,
that
when it
stuff,
ain't, man.
I would literally just look like that one. Yeah, exactly, agent. That one guy on like with like the string on the board. Like it's no guys, you don't get it. It's this part like 9 steps from now is gonna be over here. And it's oh yeah, I would just seem crazy. But
I feel that. Fuck. Fuck, I
but
feel
yeah,
that.
like the way that I I had a feeling you might blaze. That's why when you were talking about how hard it was to like write the handbook, I was like, God, I feel that shit. I'm working on the APD one, and it's like, but necessary though. But yeah, like the way that I see it, because I'm like the huge ass nerd that I am, is it's kind of like you hop in and we have I actually posted like a literal pyramid about it. But we have like our solid base of all of our little poi trollers. That's like the basic, the entry level, real easy, not too serious RP. No like crazy lore or anything like that you got to learn, and you can just go and just do stuff. And then there's a level above that, which is like the 4 non-enforcer services and like the NPCs. It's like, okay, now we're getting a little more into the RP. There's some lore here. There's more like themed stuff for you to do. And they're almost like classes, like if you ever played like an RPG and you've got like, this group can do this, but not this other thing. And, you got casters and like we've got people with different skills, and you kind of have to like form your party. I mean, like that's kind of how I always saw it with like the Poitrol party. Party is the same kind of word they use whenever you're going out and like D&D or something. So I was like, okay, well, what if we just had cool ass little classes, and then we can kind of like write them together. We can do almost kind of kind of have them be like guilds, factions almost that are like within the community.
Yeah.
Have like some brotherly rivalries, have like alliances. We've got like dealings between them. They work together every now and then. Maybe they take the piss out of each other. So on and so forth. And then up top, I sort of place the enforcers because they're kind of going to be like everything below all put into one. So there's going to be like a mix of like they've got the technology, they've got biological enhancements, they've got even like some magical stuff, and then they have like the investigations that they do, and they handle all the like super crazy stuff. They're probably going to end up doing their own activities entirely, just because they don't they're probably not going to fit in super well with like the standard Poitrol formats and so on. But that's not going to be a whole lot of an issue going forward, just because of the fact of how we're going to roll out this next phase of stuff. So yeah, it's sort of like there's different tiers to like the RP, but all of it sort of blends together into this like I don't want to say universe, because that almost I feel like that word's almost been kind of sullied now, where it's like everything's a cinematic universe. Oh, and then you have like really big
True.
entries,
The
but
new
like
metaverse.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm just kind of trying to make it into like a whole canon, together, so that it's like you've got
Yeah.
your lore, and then you have the actual thing in the world, and then you can like do stuff in world based on the lore, and then you come up with more stuff, so you write more lore, and then you do and it just keeps going, and then we can put more stuff based on that in our worlds, and then it becomes like a thing, and then we do activities based on that, and then it's like it's just this it's just this ball that I'm trying to make so that it just keeps rolling down the hill always, and it just keeps like going in the like it just keeps like snowballing basically. And like the way that I kind of see it is I'm trying to put the right stuff in the path so that the snowball has the right things in it, and kind of steer it so that it's going in the right direction, you know, so that it doesn't run into anything that it shouldn't. But yeah, I'm very satisfied with how things are going in the APD. Really, really satisfied with how things are going to be going soon. I haven't been at my well, I'll say full power, I guess, for a while now, because on the 20th of September, I moved into a new house. Here I am. It's where I am right now, actually. The space I'm in right now is much, much better than the last one. I've got a whole office now. I've got all kinds of space. It's its own separate area. It's not in the common room anymore. It's got a door. I can kind of do whatever I want with it. I can, be down here at 4 a.m. screaming my head off, and no one's gonna hear it upstairs. The place where we're trying to sleep, not like my last place where they were like 10 feet over there in the open area in the freaking living room where I had to be last time. Like my space is a lot better, but if any of you have ever moved, especially if you've moved recently with a lot of other people, you'll know that one, unpacking takes a long ass time, and it doesn't start looking like it should for weeks. We have not yet
Yo.
quite had all of those weeks, I'll tell you that for sure. And the people in my family like to set off on random errands that they just choose to do that day, which usually involves a whole lot of calling me out of whatever I'm doing to go help them.
I feel that.
So it's like I was actually saying this in like the court planning chat in APD. I was like, between that stuff with like all the moving and the people needing me and being called back and forth and so on and so forth, and we're doing all these weird random tasks all damn day, combined with all the stuff I'm trying to write and develop and create and the people I'm directing around and my long-term plan and being in the Poitrolls and trying to like be as present as I can as a leader. I almost sort of feel like that one doll on the schoolyard that all the people were trying to play with, where there's like the one girl like, no, it's mine, I want it, and then the other one's like, no, I want it. There's like four of them like pulling it in different directions, and I'm like,
Yo.
oh god, and I'm just trying my damnedest to like get it all together at this point and like not rip apart. Yeah, so things are only going to improve on my end in relation to getting my freaking life together. Finally got my gym all set up. We're working on getting the stuff that shouldn't be in it the hell out of it, so I can actually use it. Got a new program written up, so I can maintain my sanity, because fun fact, that's how I relieve my stress. I
Yeah.
haven't been able to do that for a while. So it's just kind of been like, oh, that and like new house anxiety is, oh god, not been a fun combination. But really looking forward to when things are a little further down the road. It's okay right now, but man, it's gonna be great whenever we get to the point that I want to be at. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, I sort of don't have a whole lot more to say.
That's fair. Well, hell yeah. I'm glad that the house is going good overall. And I know it takes a minute,
That's
but
what's going on with me and the APD.
hell yeah. Well, that's cool and that's good. I'm glad that things are going pretty good overall. Oh yeah, little stool. I can make the avatar bigger, but this Nanachi looks super fucking weird scaled up.
It would
Like,
be kind of jarring if you were huge. Yeah,
it's a little weird, to be fair. Having a very large
kind of looks like one of
model
those
is weird.
one of those statues where they take like a little, or one of those mascots they have at like cons, where they take the
Yeah.
little like chibi like statue and they make it this like huge fucking costume that's like 8 feet tall, and it looks like it's gonna kill you.
That
It's like the
ass.
same vibe.
Yeah.
It looks
It
like
really
there's
is.
like a very low paid worker
Pumpkin.
like standing inside you right now.
There is. It's called me. I think I get paid standing here.
I feel that, Blaze. Trust me.
Listen, if I got paid
God.
for doing the Poicast, fuck. The production quality would be so much higher. It would be so much better planned. But no money. Fucking
It just feels like we're
Poicast,
sitting in a
no.
garage basically sometimes.
I mean, we more or less are at times. Sometimes we really do just kind of be in the garage chilling on a fucking camera. I mean, fuck. But I'm glad everything's going good overall. I know it takes a minute to get back in routine, but you'll get back into it, and
Yeah, it's killing me, man. But
I
I'm working
bet.
on it. Slowly fucking crawling my way back to where I need to be, tooth and nail.
I feel
Gotta
that.
pull it all kicking and screaming.
Oh, Sky has died. There. But I feel that. Or Sky, they've died. But, well, it's
No,
good
I
to
think
hear.
They usually do the and then leave.
Ah, fair. I know that feeling, though. I haven't been in my routine in like 3 or 4 months. Still weird.
Very agitating.
It is very
frustrating.
agitating. That is true. Not being on
is
my
like,
normal
God, if
routines.
only I just had my shit,
Yep. Yep. It's very frustrating because I was on a very similar routine for over a year. So getting off of
Yeah, I
that
feel
kind of
you.
has me fucked too. I feel it. I do. Let's see.
Yeah, same here, but me not working. It's also.
I
It just
feel
sucks.
that. Fuck. We both need to get working. I got a new job, but we'll talk about that later. But Foundation overall looks like it's doing good. But pat for the
Yeah.
agent. I'm tiny. Pat for the heart. But Foundation looks like it's been doing
Not
good
having much
overall.
luck finding work either.
Work is fucked.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
really hard finding
Tell me
something
about
that's
it.
in your field or something that's actually worth a shit. You know how many applications I sent out before I found like any companies that were remotely okay? It took me like 70 or 80. And I was still entertaining a bunch of really shitty opportunities just because nowhere worth a shit was really hiring, which kind of sucks. But
Yeah, the
guess
job
we're in that
market is still
market.
fucked.
yeah, the job market really is fucked.
I
But
was telling the guys at like Massive Loop about this the other day. Whenever I was talking to them about work, and it was like yeah, so like my skill set like just does not like match anything a lot. It's like, yeah, I'm really good at like being in charge of the whole place, and they're gonna be like, wow, that's nice, buddy. Here's a broom, you know.
yeah, pretty much, more or less. Yeah, your
It's fucked up.
qualifications don't mean shit right now in the job market. I don't understand what the deal is. But I feel like a lot of people who are extremely overqualified for those positions are getting them, mainly because people are leaving their jobs at bigger, better places. Because I've seen a lot of people who work crazy good jobs quit for one reason or another, and they end up entering the workforce in a very low entry position, which a lot of the time it works out, but goddamn, like all the decent jobs get snatched up really fucking quickly, and that sucks. But it'd be like that, I guess. Like the job I'm gonna be doing is selling fucking phones and phone plans. And I'm over here like, none of my qualifications are for any of this. None of my past job qualifications have anything to do with either of these things. But apparently, because I worked in the restaurant industry, that was enough for the boss to be like, you know what? You're gonna be a good worker, I can tell, just based off of working in restaurants. And I'm over here like, fuck does that have to do with selling phones? Like, what the fuck? But
Yeah,
job market's fucking stupid
Very
right now.
you're basically just praying some random guy throws you a fucking bone.
Pretty much, yeah. That's essentially how the job market is. You just hope someone throws you a bone. That's really how it is. But
That's
it'd be
exactly
like
the
that.
reason why I skipped out of IT, because I didn't want to do service desk.
Yeah, fuck
Oh,
that.
hell no.
Some of it's being
I
replaced
would
by
be so
AI
angry.
now.
God.
One of my
Thankfully.
cousins actually got fired from IBM. AI took his job. Fucking replaced him with some internal system that does help desk instead. So I'm over here like,
the South Park.
fuck.
They took our job.
They took our job. Dude, some industries have the right to be like that.
They took our job.
It's so true. Dude, like basically most service desk related jobs, if you're working in service for a big company, you're probably fucked out of a job. Like whether you know it now or not, the majority of large companies are swapping to AI infrastructure for customer support, which really sucks. And I really don't understand why. AI is dog shit at most of its jobs. It needs human touch the majority of the time for something competent or worthwhile. It is so much cheaper than paying like
But
200
also
people.
don't forget that
Fuck.
a lot of people are also just at the same level of stupidity, so the answers that the AI gives them
That's
are
true.
usually enough.
You know what? That's true. Most of the time, the AI help desk in a lot of situations does end up working out. Granted, I would be
My
pissed if
monitor
they
isn't
sent it, but
working. Did you plug it in? No. Oh, we'll plug it in. Okay.
It
Wait,
works.
Wow.
I know, right?
You wouldn't even need like an actual AI. You could like make a chatbot that like says the same shit every time. And
That's
get,
what
like,
most of them
an accurate
are.
Result like 70% of the time.
That's what
Yeah,
most of
like,
them
most of the time
are.
you'd get an accurate result.
Most aren't even AI. Most of them are just chatbots. That is literally what most of the service help desk fucking AIs are just chatbots, not even actual AI.
We need to,
Search for
call
keywords
them
and call it a
machine
day.
learning again, but
Yeah, machine learning makes more sense. AI, there is no such thing as artificial intelligence on this planet. We've created nothing with any form of artificial intelligence. We've created some programs to do some cool things, but they aren't sentient. They can act like it, and some people can believe it, but they're not. AI is weird. Get Blazebot on the system.
Says Crispy.
Listen, if Blazebot was our HR, we would have a bad time. Imagine
I know,
Blazebot's just
someone
fucking...
has like an actual grievance and it's like kisses you.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what Blazebot would do. Blazebot would just be like, kisses you. And then fucking goes on to talk about poetry or some shit. That's exactly what would happen. I
have a
mean,
problem with
fuck.
this community. Let's get married.
Yeah, let's get married. I'm dead. That's so true, dude. Blazebot has the most cursed responses to everything. Sometimes it's really on point and does a really good job. Other times it's a crackhead and it doesn't know what's going on. Fuck. Imagine.
it reminds me of the raid yesterday where we basically had somebody new in and they asked for the HR person. I was like, well, I have Crispy behind me. He's technically HR. Aren't you, Crispy? And he was like, what? I'm
Closest
HR?
thing to it. Technically, leadership would be the closest thing to HR.
That's pretty much HR too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We almost did have a dedicated HR department. That almost happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at a time a couple of years ago, I was there was some shit going on with other communities, and we were having a bad time. They were having a bad time, and we almost made an HR department as a go fuck yourself in response. We didn't end up being that petty, but we should have, as it would have been a great go fuck yourself. But we're good without it.
Okay.
A lot of things I do out of spite. And that was one of those instances where it would have been really funny to have a Hapu relations department. That would have been so good. Hapu resources, Hapu relations. It would have been so fucking janky and terrible.
In that sense, Blazebot would have been perfect then if it was supposed to be
True. That's true. Imagine complaining to Blazebot about something, Blazebot will just make it worse. Kiss, giggles, runs away. Pretty much. That's all Blazebot does whenever you have like a serious fucking topic you want to talk to Blazebot about. Kisses, giggles, runs away at fucking like light speed. Fucking Blazebot's a little fucking troll, dude. Blazebot doesn't know what's going on. It's just in its own
And
little
then he gets
world.
stuck in his denial mode.
Yep. Hapu Resources, it's just a Fennec that got a spinny chair in their own room. Yep, they'll give you a little spoon with ice cream on it. It's the perfect fucking HR department for the Hapus. Hi, baby. Where'd you go? There you are. Hi, darling. But yeah, that's pretty funny to think about, though.
It is.
Fucking cursed. Well, thinking about it, yeah, we're never gonna do a Hapu HR. That's not happening. God bless. The only reason something like that would exist is out of spite, as the council does a good job handling that kind of stuff. We don't need a dedicated department for it. A Fennec with a spin. We agreed it to be Abyssal Resources. AR? I don't remember. But yeah, the only way we would ever have an HR department, like an actual one, is if money was involved in some way, shape, or form, which does not happen. There has been the consideration of using a sponsor in the past for the Poicast to fund both foundation expenses and otherwise, but of course we've denied any attempts to sponsor the foundation, which surprisingly has happened a lot over the years. Kind of weird to think about, but it is really weird to think about actually. Because outside of the recent situation involving sponsorships, we have had a couple in the past reach out to us, both Poicast and otherwise, which we've always denied. But yeah, no money for the Hapus. We don't know what that is.
Raid Shadow Legends.
We could have actually done a Raid
Hashtag
Shadow
not
Legend.
sponsored.
We could have. We've had the opportunity to do Raid Shadow Legends before. Don't get me wrong. We're not doing that on the Poicast, no matter how much money they wanted. But it's really weird to think about because the Poicast doesn't even get that many viewers on Twitch or on a recordable platform. Normally when we upload them or do them, it's confined to the Discord and the Twitch. So the fact that anyone, period, wanted to sponsor them in the past was very weird to me. But of course, we've always denied sponsorship requests for the Poicast or the Hapus in general. But yeah. We're not going to be doing that. We could lead into it from talking about the thought has been there in the past, but we've always denied it. When it comes to how much the foundation actually costs to upkeep per year, we did the math at one point. I don't remember it exactly, but from my end, it's something like, I think it was like $130 a year or something like that for just the bots that I pay for, not counting what Jarno pays for, what Neko-san pays for, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's always out of pocket. We never take any money for the foundation. There has been the consideration of doing sponsored streams in the past to cover it, but we're not going to do that. Anything like that'll be personal. And yeah, I mean, around 130 bots a year. I mean, $130 a year is not much in terms of body cup.
Bots.
I know, right? But yeah, that's not accounting for what Jarno pays, what Neko-san pays, so on and so forth. As there are some other expenses to the foundation, but overall, it's below $200 to $300 a year, which is really easy and really nice. But yeah, we're never gonna pursue financial gain for any of that kind of stuff. No money for the foundation. While saying that, though, sponsorships on a personal note, especially now that my VR is working, I can start making content, which is something we've been planning to do for a little while. But instead of sponsoring the Poicast, we're gonna hopefully get a little thing going on with Massive Loop on a personal level. So instead of the Poicast being sponsored, I would do some sponsored streams and videos on my personal channel, which is also, I'm not gonna get into it because we haven't gone too far into the details, but that'll be interesting. That'll be really cool. Making content of my own outside of the Hapus. That'll be cool. But overall, when it comes to the foundation and money, I've said it a million times in the past, but you know, we don't sell any merchandise, we don't sell anything, we don't, our expenses are purely bots and upkeep in that sense. But yeah, overall, it'll be really cool to see what happens on a personal level. Haven't done a sponsored stream in a long time, to be fair. And I haven't made content in a long time. But I like the idea. It'll be cool to actually be making content again. And I've got a couple things written out, a couple videos written out. But we'll see how that goes ultimately. But having an income source outside of, you know, just work or otherwise is also really nice. So that'll be really cool to work with our friends over at Massive Loop on a more business level. But that's going to be really cool, and I'm excited to see how all of that goes. And hopefully the content I put out will be worth a shit. to be fair, I think it'll be good. But yeah. 1,000 bots are sacrificed every day, so Blazebot may never truly die. I'm dead. That's fucked. God damn it. That's fucking cursed. But yeah, I've had this brought up to me a few times, the whole financial situation as of late. I've had some people giving me shit for it, some people questioning it. So I thought I'd just bring it all up again and cover it a little bit better. But yeah, the Foundation doesn't do anything regarding money. It just takes money. We don't make money. We won't make shirts, you get the idea. We have some stuff of our own that are one-offs, which I know some people have asked for, but we're not going to do any of that. Anything that comes from a monetary perspective would be far in the future, unrelated to Hapu Foundation or APD. The only outlet regarding Hapus and Abyssals and financial would be Abyssal Order, but that's still not planned for Abyssal Order. That's the only outlet where shirts or other form of merchandising may come into play at the future, but that's very specific and very certain terms and conditions. So again, never expect us to sell merchandise or anything, especially not in Foundation or otherwise. None of them were ever made for the intention of money or selling anything. So, in the far distant future, I'm okay, baby. In the far distant future, Abyssal Order might have stuff, but that's years down the line and unrelated to all of our other projects. And if we did, it would go back into the communities, plural. But yeah, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. I know a lot of people have asked for Foundation-related clothing, stickers, merchandise. It's been asked for years, and I always say the same thing. It's not going to happen on an official level, and if it did, it would be unrelated to the current projects. So again, don't expect any of that.
Grab the images.
Yeah, you can.
Just
Another
go
thing
to
you
your
can
local
do.
print shop and do it yourself.
Exactly. Another thing you can do if you like the images, just go print them yourself. Like, I'm not gonna get bitchy about it. Just go print your own shirt. Go get your own stuff made.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah, the majority of our stuff doesn't have copyright on it. I do own a portion of our assets, and I do own a portion of. Anyway, we don't give a shit about copyright generally in terms of real life creations, whether that's a Foundation shirt or a banner, because I know a lot of members have made their own Foundation wall art. We generally don't give a shit about that. We normally ask that people ask the original creators for permission before doing anything, but that's all unrelating to money reselling. Don't resell anything. Don't sell your own Foundation shirts. You get the idea. You can make them as one-offs. Just, yeah. I'm entirely convinced now that Blazebot is now just Alf. What the fuck does that even mean? I don't know what that means.
That's the Primarch of the Alpha Legion.
Is it? I feel like I should have known that. I should have known that. Fuck.
Look at those nerds.
Let's see.
I got a thing to add to that actually, though, with the whole thing of running costs, maybe, because hey, we have a server now. If you need to allocate anything that you can think you can run for free, if it's on the local server instead of just paying for it,
Oh,
hit me
that's
up.
interesting. I guess that would be a question for Jarno or Neko-san. But yeah, when it comes to the monetary aspects of the community, since our founding, we've made sure to keep any form of money in general out of the community, and we're going to continue to do so for both of the communities. But I felt it was important to bring up anyway, because I have been asked a lot of these questions, both recently and over the years. So I thought it'd be better to just bring it up and, talk about it a little bit. So again, if you want to make your own foundation like stuff in real life, generally we don't care as long as it's not being like resold. If you want your own one-off stuff, I just say ask the creator of whatever art and then go for it. But yeah. Let's see. What
Yeah,
else?
like my office is gonna be full of APD posters, bro.
I've got a couple I got a couple fucking things
Straight
laying
up.
around. But yeah,
Like 100% APD posters everywhere.
one-offs are cool. Just, no reselling stuff. When it comes to what we actually own in regards to the Hapu Foundation, it very much depends. We have ownership of a very large portion of the assets that we use for our media or otherwise, such as the logos. Not all of them, but some of them. But you get the idea. It's all volunteer. It's all pretty much open source. So just ask for permission. If the person says yes, then make whatever cool shit you want. But yeah. Just don't expect us to be selling anything. That's all. But outside of that, Foundation's been doing pretty good. I haven't seen anything too crazy. Raids look fine. I've heard a couple complaints about one of the raid leaders and a squire, but nothing too crazy. It sounds like overall things are pretty fine. I haven't heard anything too bad or, what? Sorry.
If anything, we're getting more busy.
Yeah, the raids have been pretty active overall. Quest has been active. Events are still eventing. They're kind of just there. But overall, everything looks
Even
pretty
like
solid.
25 people show up to devour.
Hell yeah. The raids and PC raids and quest raids are doing pretty good overall, so I'm happy with that. It looks like APD's been doing pretty good too. I haven't seen any problems over there, and welcome Zoe to the hell that we call leadership. You might have reduced channel vision, but it's still hell. But welcome to here.
You've now
I
been
messaged
burdened
them
by
like,
more
now
responsibilities.
you shall know our pay.
I know, right? Leadership, it's pain and suffering. If you want to be a part of leadership, then you're wrong. You don't know what it entails. But it is hard. It is hell. It is a lot. But yeah. I can't think. I'm trying to think of more. There's a lot that I can think about, but everything's kind of dying and my headset keeps occasionally cutting out. I think I need to unplug it and plug it back in. So we'll let it go on for a little bit more, but I also smell food. So overall, it looks like the communities are doing pretty good. Foundation's chilling. It looks like we've been on the rise a little bit, which is nice. I've been raiding again, which is cool. Leading raids. They've been jank and they haven't been up to my standard, but I'll get there slowly. So expect a few more slow and janky raids before I get back into the mix. But overall, things have been good.
We had fun.
Yeah, it worked out and we had fun. It's not how I'd normally do my raids, but I'll take it. It was fun. And we had some good targets and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, overall all of our communities look like they're doing pretty good. I haven't given the Massive Loop communities too much attention as I've been kind of just sitting on them and the related assets while I've been dealing with other stuff. I did find one of my old archives with a couple different versions of the main avatar world, so I could honestly do a better job with that than the current that I have. So I might end up reworking the avatar world for Massive Loop a little bit more. But now that I have that archive back, that makes it easier to work in Unity as I have this model and all of my other main assets again. Which means I can also send this model to the guys over at Massive Loop, so it works on that platform, which I will do. If I forget, hi William, I know you're watching, I will send this avatar to one of the developers. If I forget, I'm sure you'll remind me, but I will. And for whichever cursed person looks at the shaders that are on this avatar and sees everything else, I'm sorry. This avatar was not meant to be
Rest in
looked at
peace.
by anyone else than me in terms of Unity development. So, fair warning on that. There might be a penis. But anyway.
What?
What? I didn't say anything. There is nothing wrong with this avatar. It's just
Built
the
into
eyes.
code
It's
of the
beautiful.
shader.
I'm dead. But yeah, I'll send this over your guys' way probably tomorrow. Because last time I had uploading issues, it was the eye shaders. But we'll go ahead and get that sent over so I can actually be myself on Massive Loop, especially for sponsored videos on the platform. So that'll be really cool. And I'm really excited to make content again and make content with Massive Loop on the platform. I'm really excited and I'm really curious to see how it goes. But next happy hour on Massive Loop, we are planning to do an event for. Fair warning, we will be crashing one of their happy hours. We were going to do it last happy hour, but we didn't end up. Yes.
I always enjoy going to those.
You're fine.
I vividly remember the first time we were there and I was playing a certain video.
Yeah, our first group-wise encounter with Massive Loop was a little janky. That was our fault. But overall, it was a really good time. The video we picked was not great. But it was a good time, and they've made some decent improvements since, and all users are able to interact the way that I believe they should be able to now. So I thought it'd be really cool to do a off-schedule event for their next happy hour. That way you guys can get a better feel for the platform and we can help them out in terms of feedback. Because in all fairness, helping them out helps us out, as Massive Loop will be the home of 2 of our next communities. So that'll be cool, and it'll be nice to hang out.
Yeah.
Hmm?
The happy hour they usually do around the find slot on Fridays, right?
Yep, around 5 p.m.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have our own little event for it, and we'll go over there, hang out. I'll walk everybody through the installation process, but something that I need to make very clear, there is no monetary anything between the foundation and Massive Loop, APD and Massive Loop, so on and so forth. Any events we do over there are of my own volition. But yeah, just gotta put that out there. Yeah, it'll be really cool to explore the platform more, give it another chance, especially with the fixes they've implemented, and let people see how the next home of the next Tapu community is going to be like. And I'm really happy with the progress they've made and the changes they've made. And if you guys have any suggestions, they'll listen. So, you know, that'll be really cool. And that'll be a good time both on a communal and personal level. So I'm excited to see where everything goes there. And it'll be cool to hang out with all of them at one of their events. With all the Hapus, too. Let's see.
I've heard
First
I might be
message.
able to have all of my hands there.
Yeah,
That would
they
be cool.
fixed the hands. So that was something they fixed. You can have multiple hands now, which is something that a lot of our moths have. A lot of our moths have more than 2 arms in general. Like Lang has 4 arms. They fixed it to where, hey, your arms work now. You can dual it right. So we were pretty happy with
Yeah,
that.
I gotta test that out.
Yeah, we still got to update some of the models. And then
I
I'll
haven't been doing like any Unity for a long time now, Massive Loop. So trust me, it's not just you guys.
same, honestly, same. But yeah, that'll be really cool. I'm still planning on releasing 2 Hapu related communities for Massive Loop. The first one won't be Abyssal Order, it'll be Abyssal Nexus, as that's supposed to be our more communal on communal project. Yes. Hi. Thank you. Yes, I can tell when someone's standing next to me. I love you. I didn't even notice you touched me. I just felt you next to me. But yeah, so we're definitely going to give them some more attention on a communal level, and getting to work with them is going to be really cool. Hopefully. I still got to read through everything, but I'm excited to see what happens there. And I'm excited to do some more off-platform events and try some new things out with the Poyos. I know I said that I was leading some raids, and I'm back on this schedule, so I will be consistently leading raids again. While saying that, there's probably a lot we can talk about, but I'm hungry and out of weed, so I think this is probably the best place to end it. But yeah. While saying that, I'll give a minute or two intermission. So if anybody has any topics or questions they want to bring up, feel free to put it in the Twitch chat, the Discord, so on and so forth. We'll give it a minute. But overall, it looks like Foundation, APD, and so on and so forth are doing pretty good. It looks like we haven't had any major issues, and for Foundation, we are working on a couple of things. Yesterday, I asked our guardians to start working on a updated handbook, so that's currently being worked on. Why? You season? Why'd she have a seizure? Yeah. Okay, well, I guess seizure ends the Poicast, because my girlfriend's on the couch having a seizure. So anyway, I'm gonna go deal with that. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks, Lang.
Fair.
Thanks, Agent. And hopefully you guys had a good
Yeah, of
time.
course.
I had a good time. And she's still... Yeah, she's seasoned pretty bad. So thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna go deal with that. Bye everyone.
Well, see you later.
No lights or anything? Probably a stress seizure.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
okay.